I already knew who Jillian was, warts and all, her job and where she worked. I had established that she was fighting to overcome low self-esteem after being fired from her news anchor position with NBC, and that she had an on-again, off-again relationship with her boss, BNN news director Max Vladikov. I had developed an interesting cast of characters who worked with her at the TV network, and a few details about where she grew up in Rehoboth Beach, and about her relationship with her family. I had done tons of reading and research about journalists, female anchors, presidents, and life in the White House. So coming up with a second book would be easy, right? My problem was I couldn't let go of what happened in the first book. I kept finding myself trying to explain in way too much detail what had happened previously before I moved on to what was going to happen next. I kept coming up with new beginnings that my critique group shot down because it was clear I had no idea where I was going. I didn't have writer's block. I could make words appear on the page, but I was just plain stuck. Wandering around in a desert littered with old villains and already used plot lines. Although I'd always taken pride in the fact that I was what they call a seat-of-the-pants writer, meaning you just write, rather than someone who carefully plans a story before actually writing it, I knew what I had to do. I took Jillian's story in a completely new direction and wrote a 30-page summary with a cohesive beginning, middle, and end. It contains brief references to past events, but it's a much different book. What I was missing was that advice I mentioned earlier about how each book in a series must stand alone in every sense. But when considered together, they add pieces to the whole. That whole is the mega-narrative or overarching storyline that encompasses and connects multiple books. For example, in Lee Child's Jack Reacher thriller series, the reader knows that when the loner ex-military cop puts his toothbrush in his pocket and heads down a new road, he is headed for another fast-paced adventure. Bad guys' noses will be broken, and justice will prevail. Once I could plot an entirely different story than the first one, ideas began to flow. I wish I could tell you I finished. There were lots of illnesses in the family this summer, but I haven't. However, I'm working on it, and it's going much better.
Can I ask a question, or should I save it for the end?
Pardon?
Can I ask a question, or should I save it for the end?
Oh, go ahead.
How do you feel about starting the second book in a series, say, as a prequel, like what happened before the first?
Be okay. People are going to read it that haven't read your first, so whatever you want to do, I think is fine.
Okay, thank you.
Instead of me summarizing what I've already told you, I hope you'll help me do that by reading 10 tips for a best-selling series of novels. So let's start with Gail.